Have you ever wondered if there's more to the story of 9/11 than what we've been told? This is a question that has sparked countless discussions, debates, and even full-blown controversies. The tragic events of September 11th, 2001 are etched into the annals of history. But there are those who believe that the narrative we've been given may not be the complete story. On that fateful day, a series of coordinated terrorist attacks by the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda on the United States left almost 3,000 people dead and caused billions of dollars in damages. The images of the World Trade Center's Twin Towers in New York City crumbling to the ground and the Pentagon in flames are indelibly imprinted in our collective memory. It was a day of profound tragedy, a day that changed the world and the way we live in it. But what if there's more to it? What if the events of that day were not just the result of a meticulously planned terrorist attack? What if there were hidden forces at play, obscured by the smoke and dust of those collapsing buildings? In the aftermath of the attacks, a myriad of conspiracy theories started to emerge, challenging the official narrative. Some of these theories suggest the possibility of a controlled demolition. Others propose that the Pentagon was not hit by a commercial airliner, and some even argue that certain entities had foreknowledge of the attacks. These theories, while controversial, have found a receptive audience as they attempt to fill the gaps and answer the questions left unanswered by the official account. They pull back the curtain, revealing a world of shadows and secrets, where things are not always as they seem. As we embark on this exploration, let's keep an open mind. We might not agree with all the theories we encounter, but they will surely make us question, ponder, and reflect on the events that shaped our present. So, buckle up and get ready. As we delve into the shadows of history, prepare for a journey into the unknown. Our first conspiracy theory takes us into the realm of controlled demolitions. This theory posits an unsettling perspective. The Twin Towers and Building 7 didn't just succumb to the plane crashes. Instead, they were allegedly brought down by planned, strategically placed explosives. Proponents of this theory point to the manner of the collapse. They argue that the buildings fell too symmetrically, too uniformly, too much like a professional demolition job, to be simply the result of the plane impacts and ensuing fires. They speak of squibs, puffs of debris ejected from the sides of the buildings, as evidence of explosives detonating floor by floor. They also question the collapse of Building 7, which wasn't hit by a plane yet fell into its own footprint hours later. They suggest this is indicative of a controlled demolition, not a structural failure due to fire. Could explosives really have been the cause of the unprecedented collapse? Only time and further investigation will tell. Moving on, some theorists question the very nature of the Pentagon attack. They suggest that the Pentagon was not hit by American Airlines Flight 77, a commercial plane, but by something else entirely, a missile or a smaller plane. This alternate theory has gained traction due to the size and shape of the hole left in the Pentagon post-attack. The damage, they argue, was too minimal, too neat for an impact from a Boeing 757. The hole was approximately 5 floors high and just over 20 meters wide, a size that theorists believe would be more consistent with the impact of a missile or a much smaller aircraft. Moreover, the lack of large identifiable debris from Flight 77 at the site further fuels this theory. These theorists question how a commercial plane could have caused such precise damage, leaving the rest of the Pentagon largely unscathed. Could the damage at the Pentagon really have been caused by something other than Flight 77? Our final theory suggests that certain individuals had foreknowledge of the attacks. This theory is not as much about the how or the why, but the who. It's about the people who, according to some, might have known about the attacks beforehand and used this information to their advantage. A central piece of this theory revolves around the idea of insider trading before the event. What is insider trading, you ask? Well, in the simplest terms, it's the buying or selling of a company's stock by someone who has access to confidential material information about that company. In many countries around the world, it's considered illegal due to the unfair advantage it gives to those privy to this information. Now let's take this concept and apply it to the tragic events of September 11th. The theory suggests that in the days leading up to the attacks, there were unusual trading activities involving the stocks of companies that were severely impacted by the events, such as airlines and insurance companies. The suggestion is that those behind these trades had foreknowledge of the attacks and were trying to profit from them. But how credible is this theory? Well, multiple investigations have been carried out over the years to look into these claims. The US Securities and Exchange Commission, for instance, launched an extensive probe into these unusual trading activities. However, they found no evidence to support the claims of insider trading. On the other hand, many conspiracy theorists believe that the investigations were not thorough enough, and that there are still unanswered questions surrounding these trades. They argue that the sheer volume and timing of the trades cannot be merely coincidental, and that there must have been some foreknowledge of the attacks. So we are left with a theory that is as intriguing as it is controversial. A theory that raises questions about our financial systems, about the people who operate within them, and about what they might be capable of when presented with the opportunity for immense personal gain. Is it possible that some people knew about the attacks before they happened and used this knowledge to their advantage? We've ventured through the labyrinth of conspiracy theories, but what does the evidence tell us? Let's begin with the controlled demolition theory. This theory suggests that the Twin Towers and Building 7 were brought down by explosives, not just the impact of the planes and the subsequent fires. However, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, after an extensive investigation, concluded that the collapse was indeed caused by the impact and the fires. While some still question the integrity of this investigation, no concrete evidence supporting the controlled demolition theory has surfaced. Next, we have the Pentagon attack theory. This theory questions whether American Airlines Flight 77 actually hit the Pentagon, arguing that the damage was too minimal to have been caused by a Boeing 757, yet the counter-argument here is based on the physics of the crash. The plane was flying at a high speed and at a low angle, which could account for the unique damage pattern. Further, hundreds of eyewitnesses and recovered airplane debris confirmed it was indeed Flight 77 that hit the Pentagon. Lastly, the foreknowledge of the attacks theory posits that certain individuals or groups had prior knowledge of the attacks and did nothing to prevent them. However, this theory is largely based on speculative connections and circumstantial evidence. The 9/11 Commission report found no evidence of collusion or deliberate negligence. While these theories offer alternative narratives to the events of 9/11, it's important to remember that theories are just that, theories. They are not facts until proven with concrete evidence. The nature of these theories, coupled with the magnitude of the event they surround, makes them compelling and hard to dismiss entirely. Yet the lack of definitive proof keeps them firmly in the realm of conjecture. Though these theories continue to intrigue and baffle us, the quest for the truth behind the events of 9/11 carries on.